What is going on, you guys? This is All Day Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you an Assassin's Creed Odyssey video. And this video is going to be about the update 1.2.0. They did a lot of nice bug fixes for both like lighting, graphics, textures, quests, like little bug quest fixes, and the side quests or calcoms that you couldn't end up picking up for some reason, and just a bunch of stuff, which is really nice. Now I'm going to be going over some of the more important ones that I think is pretty important, and for starters it's going to be the abilities, perks, and engravings. So on this list it says increase the invulnerability window at the end of the Fury of the Bloodline. So that ability is going to be right over here in the middle in the warrior tree, and it's going to be Fury of the Bloodline. So what happened was at the end of this ability you were vulnerable because you were just standing in one spot and you couldn't move for about a split second, but enemies could hit you and end up killing you. So you had to really use it. You had to use it wisely. But now you get that extra few seconds maybe of being invulnerable, so you can move out of the way and whatnot. So that's a really nice little update that they did, or I guess a buff that they did with this ability. Another thing is they addressed an issue where players couldn't use combat and melee special abilities under certain circumstances. Elemental resistance now works as intended and provides bonuses to the player based on the total value. That scared me. But yeah, so elemental resistance now works as intended. Before, with elemental resistance, it didn't matter how much elemental resistance you had, because enemies were able to still kill you regardless, with like a fire grenade or poison grenade or whatever. But now they can't if you have a high amount of elemental resistance. And there's a bounty on me. It's probably going away. Another one is Hephaestus's Workshop Tier S2 for the 20% discount. It's now applied properly. So when you go to your bounties or your mercenaries, you can see an S2 or the rankings when you press L3. All the way down at Tier S2, this wasn't working as it should have been. Now all the prices are reduced down to 20%, which is really good, and it's really nice for those of us, because I haven't upgraded all of mine up all the way, but it's really nice for those of us that haven't upgraded and we're also pretty broke on drachmae. And then the last one is going to be addressing an issue that caused the crit chance at full health perk to not work as intended with overpower attacks. So what's nice about that is our overpower attacks actually crit now with daggers and swords. The two-handed, or like the great axe and the hammers and your staffs and spears were able to crit, but now you have all the melee weapons that are able to crit. I'm not exactly sure if the overpowered bow strike crits or not, but I do know that the daggers and the swords crit now, and I will also be showing you just a quick little clip on that. So another thing that they had added was the loadouts. As you can see on the left side, you have 5 loadout slots. They do cost drachmae to unlock them, but it's not too expensive if you have it. It costs, I think, about 50,000 to unlock the third slot, then 200 for this one, and I'm assuming it's going to be like 500k or something for the last slot. Now, the thing you have to keep in mind with these loadout slots is they only save your current gear. They will not save the abilities, and they will not save your masteries. So it is a little unfortunate. I kind of wish that it would save both abilities and gear and masteries all at the same time, while I guess it could cost you like maybe 50,000 drachmae to switch your loadouts or something, or 10,000 or something, I don't know. But I mean, yes, it's really nice that we have loadouts, but I don't think it was ever an issue to switch gear and weapons out versus having to respec your abilities and masteries, because we have a lot of those. I'm going to say a lot of players are over 100 ability points by now. So it's it does get a little tedious that you have to respec the ability points and mastery points still. And then another thing I want to go over is the quest line. So you do get a hidden quest. I wouldn't really call it a hidden quest, but it's basically like the introduction of the Atlantis DLC. So as you can see, I've already completed it, but when you log on, you'll see on your add-on quest, you're gonna have one that's gonna be for the Atlantis quest line. So what you have to do before you unlock the Atlantis quest line is you have to complete the the Between Two Worlds quest. And the Between Two Worlds quest, you have to go and complete all of the just the vanilla, I guess, mythical bosses. So you don't have to worry about Argus or Stirrups, the ones with the blue symbols. You don't have to do those ones, but you do have to do the ones with the yellow ones. So like Medusa, the Minotaur, and what's his name, the Brontus the Thunderer, and the Sphinx. You have to do all 4 of those, and then go turn it in with your father or whoever. You know, your father, obviously, spoiler already, but you have to turn that in with him, and then you'll be able to start the Atlantis DLC. Now, it is only the introduction of the DLC, but you'll end up going all the way over here where you ended up getting your staff of Atlantis or whatever, the Trident staff, the legendary Trident. So you'll end up going all the way over here, and once you do that, you'll start the quest, and you'll meet the lady. I'm not gonna explain who, but you'll meet her, and then just go on. Now, what I will say is you will be playing both as Layla and Cassandra or Alexios, depending on who you chose. But aside from that, I mean, the story itself, the introduction of the Atlantis DLC itself was actually really good and got me pretty hyped for this DLC. So like I said, it's only the introduction, but I would still highly recommend doing it, because you might have to actually still do this quest anyways in order to actually go into the DLC itself when it does come out on the 23rd. But that, oh yeah, and then another thing that I want to actually go over is your gear. So as you can see, the top of the gear, once it's over level 91, it'll be at 24%. So your main stat is at 24% and high, or at 24%. If it's a legendary, it'll be at 25%. If it's under level 91, if it's an 81 and higher, it'll be at 22%. Same thing with level 71 and higher, it'll be at 20%. So it's nice that they had ended up fixing that, because I was always wondering why they didn't increase the stats on those when you were supposed to previously. But yeah, that's pretty much all the important things you really need to know. There's nothing else. Like I said, you don't get to save your abilities or anything. You don't get to have your hood on or anything during cutscenes, which is a little unfortunate, and you can't autocraft other arrows. But anyways, that's pretty much it with this whole update. It is a pretty nice update. Like I said, they did a lot of nice little bug fixes. They threw out a nice little hidden mission, and they did promise us loadouts. Even though it's not necessarily what we would kind of have wanted, it's still nice that they had thrown that in. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. If this helped you out, let me know down in the comment section, and go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section as well, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kill both of these mercenaries. But that's pretty much it with this video. This is all day-to-day one on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.